Well, hello.
God damn,
Oh,
look
gee.
who appeared.
You can finally enjoy my horrible English accent.
Uh, you, you speak like mine is perfect, huh?
Just kidding. How are you
Well,
guys?
I'm doing okay.
So far, so good.
I had a week-long leave from work, so I'm a bit of a loop generally, but all good.
So you're well rested.
Yeah, you could say so.
That's great. I think we should wait for one more
Yeah.
bounty person to come in. I can check the transactions.
They are all executed.
Oh, very great.
It took
We
a
still
while,
have
but
the.
they are.
Legend, are you doing any degenerate plays in the market price action or any sports betting?
uh, nah,
Nah.
no more sports betting. I didn't go far last time. I did like last year in the summer. The
Yeah, I
bets were
remember
doing
we
alright, but
spoke we spoke at the Athens event.
from then, I think at this point it's just entertainment, let's say. But
Yeah, yeah.
I don't go too far. It's just very small.
Yeah, that's a healthy way.
Now what I'm doing is just landing on Sharky,
Okay.
as everybody else. The thing is, now that Solana price has gone up, NFTs go down, and kinda fucked up. I'm landing more than NFTs.
I'm totally off the NFT plays. I don't know. I haven't been monitoring it.
I mean, on Sharky, you don't need to know much about NFTs. If you have Soul and you don't have anything to do, just land it.
I will play a bit around the platform because I have never tried it.
But Shark is
Shark,
more risky than Fract, I think, because Fract is
Shark.
just a pool with yielding,
Okay.
but Shark you do lending to individual collections.
It's sharkfi.fi. No.
Yes,
Okay.
Sharky.fi.
Okay. Check it
I
out.
only know Fract. Shark Fee is new to me.
Yeah, Fract is also a lending, but it's more like diverse, let's say. So you lend to multiple at the same time, and you don't risk yourself too much.
Well, I sold half my minuscule bonk airdrop to Saw before it went up.
I did a nice play with Bonk. So I saw Dean message like around Christmas time and Grape chat, and I looked into it. Should I buy this shit or not? Then I look at Twitter. Twitter was kind of fine. Like looked like uh someone capable at least to writing stuff. Because writing stuff decently it's a plus for me. Then I put what $100 at that time, and I exited next year. So I did a 20, I think. So pretty good for me at least. I started a new year with some extra funds, let's say.
Good. Good.
Good for you.
Yeah, everybody talks about the ups, but never about the downs, huh?
Yeah,
Whoa, 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 whoa.
it's always.
Uh,
I'm not saying something good gone
I
wrong,
mean,
but not yet at least. So
complaining
far,
is
so
basically
good.
the national sport here, so maybe it's like that in Portugal, but not here.
I like how BT is tagging me to join Frank. Nah, I got my no, yearly dose of shitcoins.
Yeah. You could always go for these multi-cycle shitcoins like Doge. Just play
Eh,
the overall market.
I don't like it, though it's too much.
Okay. Oh yeah, you guys were busy. We have one transaction on the 8th directly and on the 10th.
We got 4 minimum bounty fund owners.
Yeah. Oh, the goat is here and the paws. Bernard, you talking today or just chilling, vibing?
Uh, I executed the proposal that was giving funds to me, the reward, but the other one, I don't know who executed.
It should be the video thingy.
Yeah, the again one, but someone, I'm not sure who is. But that's done. That's executed as well.
The Diner is just vibing. That's fine. Hmm. Mhm. Guys, for the video bounty, the comment is missing on debug.
About the transaction.
Yes. Okay, then you can get this done with Legend together right now.
Yeah, I'll do it right now
Mr.
because, you know.
Yeah, Mr. Dannett needs access.
Could you throw the D-work link as well?
Yeah, I'm typing something else, but I have to
Yeah.
stash it for a moment.
Hey
That
Danet,
should
yeah,
be it.
everything fine. Everything fine. Just very busy with my IRL work, so I cannot be very active in Grape.
Oh, fine. I pasted the link in chat.
I'm also pasting the comments in both the bounties that received the rewards.
Bit Discord cannot pay my chicken tendies, my daily consumption of chicken tendies.
Daily chicken tendies. Sounds like you have to work out.
Yeah, I do. I will post the pics on Maybe, I don't know.
Chicken tenders are his protein.
That wasn't a request.
Yeah. I I send nudes to Legend frequently though.
Alright.
What? You did?
Tim. Yeah, I did, but they're hidden. You will find them if you search well.
Yeah.
So basically, dwork is just free to use Jira.
A little bit, yeah, but I would rather compare it to Trello.
Ah, okay, okay.
Okay, I'm done checking. Everything is checked. And Legend was a just-in-time comment provider. Okay. Dynet, is your access set up? Did it work out? And also all the other bounty fund owners. So MLG, do you have access to dwork?
Let me check. No, yeah, I can see the Kanban board.
But for example, can you write a comment or something?
Where can I test it?
You can delete it afterwards, doesn't matter.
Okay, so I will try to write a comment in the first to-do task, add function to unlink wallet in the settings. Let's try. Yes, I think it went through.
Okay, great. Then let's look at my agenda for today. What do we have here? Transactions, we did it. Yeah, we wanted to talk about Legends proposal from Q4 last year again, because some members were absent. Among these members were Dynite and Pause, at least. But both are not on stage, so how should we talk?
If there is talking to be done, I'm up for it. Hey.
Hey.
Hey,
And seems like I have to remind all of you that I'm tracking attendance and people are late.
Who's late?
Kirk and Archimedes.
Oh.
Yeah.
I would say Kirk is absent, but
Correct.
we will never know till the Collins.
Last week he was absent, yes, but well, I'm not that strict with timekeeping, so if he turns up, I will mark him as late and not as absent. Yeah, so I don't know how it got in there. Somebody mentioned we should talk about this topic again.
Yeah, I remember the poll, and I guess we all have an idea of how we could do it, like mitigating the at least a little bit the risk of price fluctuation. But the poll was like either we do it or we don't, and yeah, maybe there is a more nuanced approach.
Okay, but we had a few options in the poll, so how do you imagine a more nuanced approach?
That's what we could try and find out. Because I get why we could like start and give some form of or give USDC instead of Grape, or like peg the Grape amount to the price at the time of payout. But maybe we should look at how we are paying bounties and what we really want to achieve. If there are different bounty types and or categories where it's like, yeah, we should look at different approaches, because if we think that whoever gets the bounties or the bounty payout in Grape will dump it anyways, then there is no real difference between us giving Grape and us giving USDC. So
Yeah.
And if the price of Grape fluctuates heavily, then it doesn't really make sense to for people to do the bounty in the first place.
Yes.
Or we need to give more or less Grape. So like we need to talk about what we want to achieve and what we want to basically the people, or what we think the people might do with the Grape. So we could look at the past bounties and see how it was used, maybe, and if this is what we intended with the Grape to happen, like we do bounties like for the past 6 months or so, or even longer. So it was just a suggestion because it's not an easy topic, and I at least can't answer the poll with an easy yes or no.
Well,
Because
we had a few different options. We had first one option that we would completely like buffer any volatility of the Grape token, so it would be like paying USDC, or we would buffer only a set percentage of depreciation of the Grape token. So
yeah, I remember.
yeah.
But what's like the real value of the funds you get after doing the bounty? Is it the USD price or is it the Grape?
Yeah. Dinah, if you
So
want to talk about vision, you have to talk to us. I'm not doing vision talk with you via chat. Yeah, but that's basically the thing. Is it like somebody does a bounty for work purposes and only cares about the monetary value, or is it you care about your part in the project and your voting power? But how should we or could we even
I mean, if you
determine
want
this?
voting power, just there must be a way to give locked Grape. That's the only thing to to do. There's no other option.
Yeah.
If you want voting power and you don't want a user to sell, locked grape is the only way to go. So the thing is, I don't think there's a functionality. Maybe there is, but that I don't know. I'm not aware of. But locked grape is the only way.
Yeah, it depends on what we, because there are always ways to achieve things like that, choosing a different route. So like if we actually look at what was paid out from the Grape wallet or a Bounty Fund wallet, it usually means people got those Grape for doing something for Grape. So you can always do some things retroactively. So it's I think we need to be aware of those kind of things that we could do in the future and not just like act as if it wouldn't be possible to use the grape that we paid out so far in order to determine some form of voting power or some form of like differentiation between those grape from coming from the bounty fund wallet or the grape treasury versus spot on the market. The question is whether we want to approach something like that. But there is always an option to do so.
But you are almost as deep into Vision Talk as Dynat has been in chat.
Damn.
Yeah, the issue with those kind of ideas always is that you can't undo it. Like if you make a decision now and just say, well, we can't do it now, we shouldn't think about it, then like half a year down the road, you wish you had done it. Like it's there is no easy answer. But we could, for example, look at what happened with the funds we paid out so far.
Yeah, I wanted to look at what the guy from Video Bounty did with his grape, but the link to Sol scan doesn't work for me from Squads. I posted the transaction link. Does it work for you guys?
Let me check.
Yeah, Dynat, I can address your point in a general way. On a high level, bounties and our setup we have here is about getting shit done, about doing tasks. But the effort of or the project of doing tasks is highly dependent on knowing what to do. And in that direction, we are lacking everything. That's big quagmire we are in.
I posted the Solana FM link to the transaction.
I pasted the raw string into Solana FM, but didn't resolve for me. There's one more J in the thing you posted to me.
It
One
worked
more
for me.
J.
Very weird.
They
It's
use
JYJ at the end. So says the transaction link, right?
Yeah. Why is it found on Solana FN but not on SourceScan?
Just because.
That might
Solscan
be issue from
dropped
the
me
squads.
a 404 from Solscan, so Solana FM too.
I found it on Solana FM. It works.
Yeah.
Let's check what our DR bounty video dude did with his grape.
Yeah, because if people like if 90% of the people dump their grape after receiving them from a bounty, then like it really doesn't matter whether we
Yeah.
use USDC or grape. It's
He now has 3,000 grape, 3,400 grape, but he might have deposited it to realms. I don't know.
No, he swapped on Jupiter.
Yeah, he swapped the 30k grape to 57 USDC.
Well, legend, if you remember from the organization days with the competitions, that if you won certain place, you got grape. 99% of those rewards were just swapped for USDC.
I mean, what's the motivation to keep them, huh?
Yes, basically yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's like, and then it comes down to if we think that we will do something with the information that someone got the grape later down the road. If we think we might do it, we should like stay with grape, with using grape, and maybe think about adjusting the amount of the payout. If we don't think that will happen, then yeah.
But isn't what you're proposing very akin to the whole reputation system?
Of course.
Yeah,
But I think we should like it's important to be aware that we don't limit our options now.
but everything you're proposing would be like a major development initiative to start tracking what people do with their grape after they received it.
No. It's not about that we should track, or I'm not saying that we should track what people are doing with their grape. It's more about looking at what they did. This is a one-time thing, or we could do it on a regular basis, like, and then reevaluate. But it's an important question that we need to ask before determining how to proceed. Because if people dumping their grape, they see the USD value in it, and that might have an effect on whether people are doing a bounty or not.
Okay, so you're basically
And then
proposing.
and then it might make sense to hedge against price fluctuation. Which was one idea or one option in the vote, right?
Well, the main thing here, in my perspective, is that most of the bounties we did were not on a high enough level to warrant paying USDC or paying major amounts of USDC.
Yeah, but if people dump their grape, it's as if we had paid USDC. Like,
yes. But if they dump their grape, then our treasury in grape value goes down, yes. But for practical reasoning, we have infinite grape. And it hurts well, it also hurts us as holders of grape, yes. But the project stays alive by value of the USDC treasury.
Yeah, I know what you mean, and I'm not saying we should have paid USDC. That's not what I'm saying.
We have kind of come full circle now. From not talking about vision to talking about vision. I mean, I hear you, but it's difficult for me to extract a specific course of action out of the argument. And I suspect we have lost the others because they are so quiet.
Maybe. But it's hard to make a decision in a vote or a poll if we have all different like perceptions of what we want to achieve and what we want to and how we want to do it, whatever you want to do. It's like then you don't need to ask the question if everyone has a different starting point. It's
I mean,
Yeah,
the
I
poll
understand you
was
would.
about giving different reward options to the current system. People voted, people voted one option, and that's where we are.
yeah, the result
Mm-hmm.
was that we stay with the system we already use, but
Yes.
but I think this is something that like in situations like these, if there is uncertainty, people tend to stick with what they're having right now. So any form of change in whatever direction always requires effort, right? But staying where you are is easy. So that's the easiest option. And that's why I suggested that we should talk about the issue itself, because I don't think that this is what we really want.
I
But
mean,
we are lacking.
I voted for a change, and you know the vote is for 6 members of the bounty fund owners. You gotta convince the rest of the bounty fund owners to change, most
Yeah,
likely.
but what? What is the argument?
I mean, you're applying for a change, no? In the current system.
I think that we need to at least look at what we're doing, of what and like we need to measure what we're doing and like look at what we have achieved and if this is what we really want to achieve, and if not, we need to change things we are doing because obviously we're not achieving what we want to achieve.
Ah,
If
but
we
that's a
don't
different
ask those
topic.
questions,
That's the thing. One topic is about the, let's say, the reward system, and what you're talking about is more like the vision of the bounty system and where it's going.
not necessarily, because the reward obviously has something to do with the bounty itself and whether people find it attractive, and if
Yeah, but
they
the reward comes after the idea it's put on place, no? There's no reward if there's no bounty. What you're
yeah,
talking
but if
about
you
is
were
different type of bounties to different type of things, no?
but if the reward is not valuable, or if people don't see the reward as important enough, they won't do a bounty. Why would they spend time and invest their time?
I'm understanding it is very different. Like you're talking about the reward. Like, do we have a bounty for the reward? Which bounty are you talking about?
All bounties?
The past
We are
ones?
talking about the payout, right? We are talking about whether you want to
Mm-hmm. Yeah, change.
yeah. And for me, like the reward itself is an important part of the whole concept of making bounties, because if the reward isn't attractive, why would people do work?
I mean, we gotta know what type of bounty it is. Like, you mean like a attractive bounty, okay. Bounty for doing 10 message on Discord, for example. Very simple, like you write 10 messages on Discord, you get the bounty. What will be attractive? and a high amount, right?
Yeah, I know what you mean, and that's why I said initially that we could categorize it and maybe make some changes for higher tier bounties, right? So like with bounties that have an X amount of Grape payout or USDC equivalent or whatever, there we think about the hedging part because it's obviously people who need to make a living in some shape or form, and if they don't have like a fixed outcome for the work they put in, then they won't do it. So like that's what I'm saying. I'm saying we should look at what we're doing and find out what options do we got and then make a decision. But we made a poll and it wasn't specified like whether we it was just a poll and we didn't talk before making the poll, right?
Well, we
So
talked, but you weren't there. You and Dinah, you were busy with other stuffs, but we had a discussion here.
what was the conclusion? I listened to the discussion, right?
Yeah,
Or
the
was it on a
conclusion
day I
was,
wasn't here? But
I
if
don't know, but the conclusion was that we would have a vote with these different options.
yeah, but if there is a if people talk about something and there is a conclusion and you think that you need to make a poll, but there is no summary of what was talked about, how can you expect people to make an informed decision if not everyone you're asking was also part or has a chance to see what was talked about? Like, then the poll is even, yeah, you get from my meaning, right?
So you want a recap for absent people, okay?
I'm just saying that it doesn't make
I mean,
sense to ask
regarding
people to
the
vote.
this was the recap of what Ryder.
I'm not aware of that I was missing information, right? So, and I don't think I do, because you guys like you're not, or what was said in the discussion was the outcome, and then you made a poll out of that, and then everything's fine. You can like.
I can try to find the recording of the bounty call. I just I did the recording of the bounty calls way later on, but I think we talked about this on a call I recorded, so I might try to find it later on after this call. But I think this idea of changing of the reward system was for sure talked about before the poll went on.
Yes.
I remember
I think
like you
even you
having the
here,
idea
you
and
were
making this.
here, and
Yeah. I
you
remember you making the suggestion that we should do that. And then, like a couple of days later, I remember realizing that there is the poll. But for me, it wasn't like there are still open
specific enough.
questions. Yeah, and
Okay.
like we never even specified whether we do it for every bounty.
Yes,
Like,
we did. You missed the crucial meeting. You were in the meeting where Legend proposed the idea, but when I said, okay, we can talk about this, but if we want to do this, we need to have a transparent system that is applicable to every bounty. And then we said, okay, let's have the talk next time. And when we had the talk,
yeah,
and
I
made the
remember
call.
that.
It is.
But anyway,
yeah.
if you guys say like who talked about that in detail, the result is okay and we don't need to talk about it anymore, I'm fine with that. Like, you remember you summoned me to on stage like to talk about things? That's why I'm here. Like because I think that there is
Yeah.
merit in looking at the bounties and what we're doing and like seeing whether there are different tiers where we can apply some form of hedging mechanism, right? That's just my view on the topic. But if you guys say we don't need to talk about it, I'm fine with that.
Well, the thing is, you are kind of moving up the scope. You're widening the scope of discussion. If we're only talking about general bounties as we have them now, and should we do this insurance policy? That's one question. But
even right now we have different top bounties, right?
yes, but
like a Kirk bounty differs
Kirk
from, yeah.
Yes, currently we have Kirk bounties, or development bounties, let's call it this way. We have general bounties, and the next category we want are like DAO core bounties, or recurring DAO core bounties. And these definitely, I think, should be either insured or paid in USDC, because that's about our core functionality. Okay, I recognize that it was kind of me who put you on stage. Thank you. I think we can say we talked about this enough now. Okay, we did the transaction check. We talked about the grape price fluctuation. Do we need to fill up on the bounty fund?
What's the current balance?
Checking. We have 4,700 USDC and 133k grape.
According to the to-do in progress tasks in the work, looks fine for the time being.
Yeah. Okay, we have about 15 minutes left.
And about the payout process you were talking earlier, why don't we keep it this way for now? And just like we did for the last bounty, we review, we do an on-chain audit of what happened with the grape.
Yeah.
And then we can draw some more precise conclusions, let's say, and then reevaluate. Because apart from that, all the other are just philosophical discussions, no?
Yes. We need some data points. But it is, we are currently in a very philosophical place.
Yes, we are.
I just checked. We used 500k grape last time, and it was 4 months ago, so we could do that again. And we also should maybe look at like it's an easy number. Like I don't want to call it burn through 500k grape in 4 months, but we used 500k grape in 4 months for bounties. Is this something? Was it worth it? Like maybe make a mini report for the DAO, something like that. Maybe also like, was it not enough?
How do you mean?
Yeah, maybe people say like, okay, we spent 500K in 4 months. We could have easily, or would be okay with like spending 1 million. So like that we know what the DAO is like.
Yeah, but to ask it question, we would need to provide a DAO with the data points MLG mentioned to know if the bounty people just dumped their grape or whatever.
Yeah,
If they
maybe,
deposited
maybe.
it to the brands.
I mean, we can just set up the proposal on Realms for another 500K, but then it's like just a binary decision for people to say yes or no. Like it's always a binary decision, but you can provide them with like some insights. Maybe it's just an idea, but I can just like do the same proposal and we see how it goes.
Yeah. It's not urgent, is it?
Hey guys,
Hey, Dean.
Hey, Dean.
how's it going?
Going
So
okay.
I'm
Okay-ish.
I want to ask now that you're going to prepare for this, when the moderators had to go through that whole process of like, hey, this is what we want to get paid, and then it was like, are you guys even self-policing? Is there anything similar, like on the bounty side, or is it just because I think you got where I'm going with this. We haven't had something similar, right? Is it just because, hey, these guys who don't really speak English well, we got to force them to justify their pay, whereas these other guys, it's like, oh, they're eloquent, they speak my language, so I'll just give them the money. I want to make sure that we're being fair,
I think
when we're proposing to give, allocate more funds.
I think it's a bit different. For one, it's easy to show either Trello, and now since we're using dwork, you can point at dwork and people can see what the funds were used for. But it's of course more work for them to find out than like providing a small report. And the second thing would be like, it's not about paying us, it's about paying for the bounties. So
Yeah.
No, I mean about the refill, right? So it's like, hey, do we need six,
Yeah,
seven
yeah.
moderators? And there was a huge discussion, and then we evaluated it. I'd be very surprised if anybody could pass a proposal again asking for that amount of money for our moderation. And I think it was a good exercise to say, hey, what are we paying for? My question is just, I'm trying to get prepared for myself mentally. Is the idea that there's going to be a proposal that puts up that says, hey, we got to refill the bounty because it's empty, but let's not talk about the effectiveness of bounties, the growth of revenue, or or any other data point. I just want to be prepared if there's going to be any metrics attached to the request.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Basically, I think it's like there are several steps because with dwork or Trello, we can, or people can see what the funds were used for and whether the bounties that have been done are valuable. It's another discussion, right? but you see what
Yeah, it's
the
just like
funds were
saying,
used for. So
like, we knew that there were 7 people with the moderation role, and we knew that 7 people were logging in. We saw that with the audit logs, right? Like, we could say, oh yeah, these 7 people, they were here. I think the layer that we're, for whatever reason, trying to avoid is it worth it?
yeah, of course, yeah. It's an
And
important question.
I'm asking a very straight up question to the bounty guys, which are you. When you're going to ask for a refill, are you going to give any substance on, hey, is it worth it? Or is it going to be like, hey, either do it or don't?
I think at the time of refill, I wouldn't look as much at it, but each bounty, the decision whether we should approve it or not, that's the time where I evaluate whether I think it's worth it or not, whether we should ask a sub DAO in order to provide insight. So like the time of refilling is more like a recap and like showing what has been done.
Yeah, it's also a time for the voters to put their confidence in the allocation of them. Like, I came on the tail end of this. Did we pay out for somebody to make a GAN video?
Yes.
Yeah.
Has
It
anybody
was
seen that
like-
video?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we talked about it multiple times.
So
and
I'm like, yeah, I
there
have
were
to,
revisions.
I'm a very bad graper. I've never seen this video. I've never seen this video. Did we tweet it?
No, I think it wasn't used, and we decided that we can't do those kind of bounties in the
Yeah.
way we did them.
Yeah.
That was the outcome.
Yeah. We
Got it.
decided
So,
together with Jarvis that we
guys.
couldn't go forward with this.
We got this money. We gave it to this person. They made something. And after that, we said, oops, guess what? We don't like the video. We're not going to use the video. We learned we shouldn't do video bounties.
Yeah,
Yes.
in essence, but with more
I
steps
appreciate
in
that.
between. It was more like we looked at the video and we decided that this isn't what we wanted, and it wasn't, the quality wasn't where we would have liked it to be. And then he did it again and we gave feedback. So we tried to fix it, but in the end, we decided that it isn't worth it doing it this way again.
Okay. No, I
It's just
appreciate
too much
that.
trouble.
That makes complete sense to me.
Yeah, we had also a talk with Jarvis about this video, and I mean the whole reason we did it this way was that Jarvis didn't have time or think. I asked him if he could do it, but he said no, sadly not. And that's the whole reason why we said, okay, let's try it via dwork, set 30k grape, and here we go. Well, and in the aftermath, after 2 revisions with feedback from many people in the community and from most bounty fund owners, yeah, it was not on par. And then we had a discussion with Jarvis again, and he looked at the video and he was also not satisfied. And the conclusion of that whole process is that we are not going to do these kind of creative bounties on dwork in this way anymore. We will go through our own people who we know and trust, who we know that they are capable at first.
Yeah, and I think you guys have answered my question perfectly. Like, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, we could, of course, make an overview of what bounties were achieved and yada yada. But for me, right now, refill is not a priority.
Yeah, and I'd add, I don't think anybody needs a recap of what the bounties achieved. I mean, let's have a certain measure of reality check. There's not a single bounty we completed that is the talk of the town in Solana. So I don't think we need a massive recap. But if there is something that we did do through a bounty that you guys have a belief that, hey, this really is a big deal, I think that would be a great bounty to make for a marketing bounty or to allocate towards the marketing roadmap. But I just don't want you guys to do work that I think is, paper shuffling. Yeah, I personally would not benefit from what the bounty board did recap.
Okay. I think that it certainly is not paper shuffling at all, because the whole spirit of Grape is that people can influence Grape, people are Grape, or the people are Grape, and through the system of, hey, I have an idea, I propose a bounty, and when it gets done, and somebody is there who is looking after this task, I think we are pretty unique in that way.
Oh yeah, bro. I never want to discourage you from moving your papers around. I just don't need you to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't want anybody, like, the worst thing is when you have this feeling that you have to do something because somebody else asked for it. I just want to communicate. I do not need that. Like, it would not change the way I'm going to be thinking about the bounty board. Maybe it's just because I look at the squads, I pay a little bit more attention, although I had never seen the video. Yeah, just didn't want you to feel like you have to put that on your plate.
I pasted you a link in live chat to the video.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah. You can reevaluate Jarvis and our decision not to tweet it.
Oh no! I'm positive it must suck if we decide not to tweet it. We paid for it and then didn't tweet it. I've been there.
It is better now. It was worse.
I've been there, man. I used to do interviews, and there are some interviews I've never published because they were so bad. So yeah, I know how it goes.
Okay. I think for next meeting I will note down that we should finish the talks about the vision stuff at Dynite and Paul's mentioned today. Maybe to Mr. MIG, because you're not in voice so often. Do you have any questions? Anything you want to get off your chest?
No, Ryder. Nothing more.
Okay.
It's the thing that we have to close this philosophical debate about the Grape and USDC rewards, because we've been going on for what, 4 or 5 sessions.
Yes, but it's also something that's been going on
it's
like
difficult.
complete DAO level.
It's difficult. I'm not saying it's easy.
I would flip a coin. Like, it's one of those decisions that no one will ever remember.
Yeah, it would be probably the most effective way.
Yeah, effective, but what about efficiency? Okay. I'm noting down the points mentioned by Dynet and Pause today. And Dynet, I hope to hear you next week. We are going to talk vision, and you are writing in chat again. I'm gonna get crazy. That's something I'm clearly hoping for. Otherwise, thank you for coming, people. And we can be on time for the DAO call. I'm gonna end the event and start DAO call now.